Hello there. Welcome to Effortless. My name is Caitlin Kessler. I'm the creator of the 3M method and host of this podcast. I'm a mindset coach for business owners who are ready to shift into a more aligned and profitable and effortless business. So, in the online space, I hear a lot of talk about competition. I hear things like, oh, my competition is doing this or that, so maybe I need to do this or that. Or my competition charges less, so maybe I need to charge less, and so on. And I get it. Traditional business and marketing practices, they do tell you to know your competition, to look at your competition. But I want to offer a little different perspective for you today. I believe that studying your competition is not serving you. In fact, I believe that it's hurting you. It's triggering things like comparisonitis and imposter syndrome and all of those other feelings of unworthiness. And those things are preventing you from taking action, from growing your business, from making the impact and the income you desire. So it's no good, right? Now, often in the face of competition, I see people, and I've done this too, try to just lower their prices a bit lower than their competitor. Or maybe they throw more into, whatever offering, whatever package to kind of beef it up next to their competitor's very similar offer. Eventually, you're going to get to a price point or an offer amount that is just not sustainable or scalable. You're going to be charging $1 and offering everything and the kitchen sink. And that is just not how a business works. Luckily, there is an alternative. What if you could run your business without competition? What would that look like for you? What would that do for your ideas, your action, and your results? If you didn't have competition, you also wouldn't have anyone to compare yourself to, anyone to feel like an imposter next to, or anything to remind you that you are unworthy. And I say that with air quotes because you are so, so worthy, my friend. I often ask questions like this on this podcast, and my hope is that you actually sit for a second, pause the podcast even, and really think through it. They're not arbitrary or rhetorical questions. They're real questions that, if I was your coach, I would fully expect you to answer. What does your business look like if you didn't have competition? How many people are you serving? How much money are you making? How do you feel? I want you to think about that and feel into it and visualize it, experience it, even for just a minute. What does your business look like without competition? Great. Now, here is the exciting news. That's all available for you because you don't have any competition. The nanosecond that you decide you don't have any competition, it's gone. See, online business is not like the Olympics. There's no scorecard. There's no extra points for difficulty. There's no new innovative way to twist and contort your body and amaze us all. Clearly, I only watch gymnastics, but you know what I mean, right? That's not how this online business thing works. So your first step here is to make that decision. And the second step is to just do you. Stop looking at others and trying to be like them. Stop trying to operate how they operate, offer what they offer, sell what they sell. The easiest way to not have competition is to offer what you uniquely offer in the way that you uniquely offer it and show up as yourself, not some crappy copy of someone else. Look, there are a lot of coaches out there, but there are zero coaches exactly like me. They don't have the unique blend that I do. Now, sure, they might be certified in NLP and hypnotherapy like me. They might have read the same books and studied the same techniques as me. Heck, they might have brown hair and like Harry Potter like me. They might be, a projector in human design and a Pisces and a Ravenclaw, and yet they still wouldn't be me. And I wouldn't be them. We appeal to people differently. Maybe someone would like their sense of humor more than mine. Maybe someone would relate to me more as like a cat person. It's just a bunch of maybes, right? It's not worth analyzing. It's just worth being yourself, sharing your unique approach and perspective, and all of the fun little quirks that make you, you. Because no one, and I mean no one, is competing with you there. We've been taught for a long time to follow the rules, to fall into line. And that's actually kind of terrible advice for an entrepreneur. Don't follow the rules. Rules don't actually exist. And fall into line, like, no, heck no. Make your own line. Do your own thing. I always find it really interesting when I start to think about these things, because growing up, I was like the typical, air quote, good kid. I had like straight A's and perfect attendance, and I was student body president and a varsity cheerleader and that whole thing, right? And while all of that is fine, I now look at that and I wonder, what was that all preparing me for? What was that like training me for? A life of checking boxes, of following rules? Because that sounds that sounds miserable. And I'm guessing it doesn't sound so great to you either, or you probably wouldn't be an entrepreneur. So why do we keep doing that? Why do we keep limiting ourselves in that way instead of coloring outside of whatever arbitrary lines that we've made up? Why don't we just be ourselves? I've had to learn this lesson again and again and again. And so I want to encourage you, if you think you know this, ask yourself this: am I embodying that knowing? Am I acting from that knowing? Do I just like understand it, or have I actually applied it? Because chances are, if you're like most entrepreneurs, you're kind of getting stuck with the application part. A great way to actually start applying it is to ask yourself things like, how can I make this more me today? Or how can I make this more fun for me today? Or what's my unique position or understanding on this? What do I disagree with in my industry or my field? And then take those answers, take those things and actually bring them into your business, actually do the things, right? And the truth is, at the end of the day, you are here to help others in the unique way that only you can. Your people are waiting. They're waiting for you. Your people find your like competition or whatever you want to call them like annoying or something, right? Like something about them isn't quite right because they're looking for the you in the crowd. And you're doing them a huge disservice by not showing up as you. Does that make sense? So the last question here is, will you let go of competition and step into who you are? I talk about all of this and more inside of my new program, Own Your Expertise. You can get started with a free lesson all about imposter syndrome by heading to CaitlinKessler.com/imposter.